started off this workout with some handstand and balancing stuff. At the moment, my handstand, it feels good, but it can very quickly go wrong because I'm actually preferring to do it on higher bars. So if I want to actually do it on higher bars, I basically want to make sure that the handstand on the floor is easy. With that being said, I should go into more detail and really explain the reason why I'm still doing it on the floor, even though I find it kind of easy. And that is actually because I am over kicking sometimes. Not really over kicking, but just falling forward. So anytime you do the handstand, when you fall down, which I think I'm going to do when I come out of here, when you fall down, it's basically a safe way to fall. But when you fall over the other end, so when your feet go past your head, that's actually when most people get hurt, especially when they do it on higher bars. Because the problem is holding a handstand is quite risky on higher bars, especially if you're not 100% certain that you can do it on the floor without falling over forward. Falling down is really no problem. It's quite safe. If you have the strength to do the handstand, then you can just catch yourself at the bottom. But if you're holding it, for example, here, let's say I was in higher bars and my feet come to the right of my head, so forwards. Like here is backwards, so that's quite easy. But if it comes forwards and I'm on higher bars, then I can really hurt myself. And I've seen people that can do the handstand quite confidently on the floor, go on the higher bars, and then they fall forwards. And you can't really control your body weight when you're falling forward. So, but yeah, they basically got injured. So this is really what I'm doing, just trying to focus and keep my. It's not really about keeping the handstand straight. I'm quite confident about that already. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall forwards on any of these attempts. So here, as you can see, I'm nearly going. I was about to fall forwards, but I've kind of learned to bend my knees or bend my legs, and then that makes the lever shorter. So right now the lever is longer because my legs are straight. But if I bend my legs, then the lever becomes shorter, which makes it easier for me to control my body weight. And yeah, that's just a backwards fall, so nothing too crazy there. But I do think that I'm very close to not falling over forwards anymore. And that would mean that it's safe for me to do it on the higher bars, because the worst thing that could happen is that it's not really an egotistical thing. It's more about fun. And wanting to go on the higher bars, and it just feels better when you do go on the higher bars. But yeah, as I said, one fall forwards can really mess up your training in the long term, because if you get injured, then you're going to get injured quite badly, especially because this is a shoulder exercise. So anytime you injure your shoulders, it's going to affect pretty much everything in terms of upper body, because the shoulders are quite a versatile muscle group. So yeah, as you can see, there's the guy here on the right. He actually has been training for, I think, almost 30 years. He was giving me some words of encouragement and some tips as usual. So that's another thing about calisthenics. People actually help each other in the park and stuff like that. So they talk to each other and boost each other up. Whereas in the gym, there's that typical question that people ask, which is like, how many sets do you have left? Or like, basically everyone's thinking, oh, this guy needs to hurry up so I can use the machine and do my thing. So that's just another thing. If you've never tried calisthenics before, go to your local park and you'll see that everybody is quite friendly there and helpful. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go on to the muscle ups. This bar is actually a little bit too low for me. I have to crowd myself a little bit, or basically just no, I can't really keep my legs fully straight, otherwise I'll hit the ground. But it's still a challenge, and that's the thing with me. I just try to challenge myself in my training. I don't get too worked up or caught up in what exercise variation I do, because I know that anything that challenges me is going to change me. So, and all the muscles work together as well. That's another thing about calisthenics. A lot of things that you want to learn, they can actually be strengthened by doing other things. So, for example, muscle ups, those are going to strengthen my entire upper body, which is, as a result, is going to make other exercises easier as well. So, yeah, I'm not really too concerned about small details. But anyway, this is a really good set that you can do for muscle ups. So what you want to do is basically do as many muscle ups as you can do. So I think I've done about 4 or 5 here because I'm quite fatigued, but I still got the session in anyway. So I think I've done about 4 or 5. Yeah, I think it's the 5th one. As you can see, I'm struggling there. So then I go straight into the straight bar dips. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after that, I drop down into pull-ups and do 5 pull-ups. So this is really good because it's going to build your body in proportion. Basically, you're doing the same number of reps on muscle ups as you are on pull-ups and on dips. Therefore, you're not ever going to work one muscle more than the other. You're just going to work everything together. I mean, as in terms of the number of reps, it will be the same number of reps. So how can you build your body more in one area than the other when you're doing the same number of reps on all the exercises? So yeah, this is why this is really good, but it's also really good if you specifically want to improve your muscle up and just want to use calisthenics to build muscle, because muscle ups are hard enough as it is. And when you break up the movement after and put in the dips and the pull-ups as well, you're really going to feel that burn, especially by the time you get to the pull-ups, your grip is starting to give out. So it's really good for the forearms and core as well. So yeah, that's it for this episode.